is Hump Day for Cruisin the Coast. Joining the program now, Jimmy Raferty, the mayor of Pass Christian, Mississippi. Mayor, good to see you, sir.
Great. Thank you very much, Gerard, for having me on board.
So, man, this event is unbelievable. What an economic shot in the arm, let's start with that, to the entire Gulf Coast.
Yeah, it is. And even in Pass Christian alone, we're the smallest town on the coast, and yet this equates to about another 10% of sales.
Wow.
So it's
That's
a great
incredible
thing for our town, for all our restaurants and shops and so forth.
And I hear lots of the merchants say that this is really their Christmas.
It is. It is. That's true.
You get visitors from not only all over the state, but honestly all over the country. We were told by Rob Sigler earlier on in the program that we've got cars entered, registered from 48 of the 50 states. That's incredible to descend upon the great Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah, I heard they were hoping to approach 10,000 cars this year.
That is unbelievable. Tell us about what's going on in Pass Christian. What are you guys working on these days?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're growing here. We've had great leadership in the state. With Tate, Delbert, and Phillip, great leadership, and we've been the beneficiary of some great grants. And we're developing our downtown. We were one of the hardest hit communities in Katrina, and we still have a lot of vacant space. 17 years after Katrina.
Wow.
But right now we've gotten some great grants, and we've managed to make an inducement to developers to come in, and we're about to develop our Harbor Green space. Also downtown, we had a thriving school, St. Paul's, there before Katrina, and it's been grass ever since. And now we're getting ready to put in 36 townhomes there.
Oh,
so
wow.
that'll be a great thing for our town.
Okay. Al, how's your financial picture looking these days?
We're growing, which is good. We're growing in sales, and that's a good thing. And, it's hard to find a house for sale or for rent right now in Pass Christian because, it's just, we've predominantly been a residential community our entire existence, and, that's what a lot of people are looking for these days.
Yeah, absolutely. The entire coast overall, though, Mayor, seems to be faring pretty well economically.
It is. The three coastal counties are growing, and it's an amazing thing. We're very fortunate.
Yeah.
And also, you were talking with a number of the mayors earlier, and it's all this one coast principle that we have here, and it's all about, we get together often. We all went up to the Neshoba County Fair this year for One Coast Day, and it's just a great thing. We all, in fact, I'll never forget, we got voted one of the best coastal cities in America.
That's awesome.
And the next day I got a note from Billy Hughes. Jimmy, a win for Pass Christian, a win for the coast.
Oh, that's fantastic. Billy Hughes, of course, the mayor of Gulfport. And I think, Mayor, it's fair to say, it hasn't always been the case. There's been a little contention historically, but in the last several years, I've seen no evidence of that.
No.
Nothing but collaboration.
Well, I've been mayor now for 2 years now, and I haven't seen any of that. In fact, when I first came on board, I had no political experience before. I was in human resources for 30 years.
Okay.
So came in, and every other week I get together with the Harrison County mayors, and they've been like mentors to me. So
That's
it's just,
awesome.
Fofo and Billy and George Bass in Long Beach. It's been a great thing for me.
So you got great leadership. You've also got great first responders and law enforcement down here as well, right?
We do. Find first responders, also our school systems. In Harrison County alone, they're all A-rated school systems. So that's a big attraction for people to come to the coast.
Well, I say it all the time. When you look at the elements, the ingredients for a high quality of life for an American, honestly, it's schools, it's healthcare, it's low crime, it's good infrastructure, low taxes, reasonable regulatory framework. You got all that here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Well, that's because we've had excellent leadership. I mentioned the ones in the state. We have some great local leaders. Mike Thompson, Carolyn Crawford, who ministered to Pass Christian. Great leadership. General Joe Spraggins with the Department of Marine Resources.
Yep.
He's a big supporter of helping us develop. But right now, we've got $2.5 million to help to put a cement boardwalk in Pass Christian. That's the first of 4 tranches, and eventually we'll have a cement boardwalk, a very wide one, the whole way from the Bay St. Louis Bridge to the Biloxi Bridge, and that's a great thing to bring the coast even closer together.
We're talking to Mayor Jimmy Raferty of Pass Christian, Mississippi. So, Mayor, at the event here at Cruisin the Coast, do you ever get to talk to folks that maybe have come here for the very first time?
Yeah.
Get their reaction?
Yes. Last year, I went and just walked down to the harbor, and they had this couple from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And they were looking for places. places down here. And they said they couldn't find anything in Biloxi or whatever, so they said maybe Pass Christian. But also, we just have some wonderful things lined up. Tomorrow, in fact, the next 3 days, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, our band start at 11 o'clock in the morning and go until 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
We have Heather and the Monkey Kings tomorrow, and that's our sort of the Twilight band. The next night we have the Sons of a Beach, and then on Saturday night we have Vince Vance and the Valiants. But our biggest event of all is Thursday at 5 p.m. we have the Burnout. Okay. So all these classic cars come and they're burning rubber. Okay. And it's just, we had thousands and thousands of people last year, and we encourage everyone, please come to the Pass for a very memorable event.
Yeah. So when you talk to these out-of-staters like this couple you were mentioning from Wisconsin, what do they tell you attracts them to the area that makes them want to put down roots here?
It was the same reason you just mentioned. They looked around here and they're saying, look, there's not a lot of hustle and bustle around here. Yeah. And it's just, and the people are pleasant. I was born and raised here, lived away for 30 years, and I can assure you there's nothing like the people from down here. Yeah, agree. And you're right about that. You don't find that in the rest of the country the way you do here. And there's so much just embracing and welcoming of people, regardless of where they're from. People are just friendly here. They're glad to have them here, want to take care of them, and extend that southern hospitality that Mississippi, especially in the Gulf Coast, are known for. And I have to tell you, people like you really make it special. I listen to your program every day. Regardless of where you are in the state. Great thing. We met for the first time at Delbert's reception. That's so right. It was just a great thing, getting to know you and what you do for Mississippi. I appreciate that. And as I mentioned, the first time I met, we got to get you to Pass Christian at some point. Well, we'd love to do that. We can definitely make that happen. But we got a great team here at SuperTalk and a fantastic network. And something I'm not sure a lot of our audience understands is that there are not many states that have statewide networks like this. In fact, we may be the only one. I know the neighboring states don't have anything like this. I've talked to folks from those states, and they're sort of envious of the fact that we have something where you can have a statewide voice like we're having right here today, showcasing the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. A couple of weeks ago, we were up North Mississippi at New Albany, another great municipal area in the state of Mississippi. So Mississippi really is comprised of a lot of kind of medium-sized, small towns like this. They all have their unique charm and characteristics, but I think they blend together to make this state, I think, the best in the country. It is. I was born and raised here, as I mentioned, lived away for 30 years and moved back for that reason. I want to come back to a special place, and I tell you, right now, this state is really trending in the right direction. Totally we're financially stronger than we've ever been. Great leadership and just, a lot of good things ahead of us. No doubt. Have you got any sort of economic development projects in the works that you can share with us in Pass Christian or on the Coast in general? I know Mayor Fofo Gillich kind of hinted at some stuff going on. Sounds pretty exciting. Of course, he said he had 7,000 hotel rooms. Well, we only have 21 in Pass Christian right now, but we're about to add another 50 or so. Okay. And also, as I mentioned, we're developing our harbor green space. We want to put something iconic there, and such that you're driving along Highway 90, this is the coast. So that's something we just had. The bid submissions just came in, so we're going to start looking at those. As I mentioned, the downtown development, the former St. Paul's, and we're going to great thing. We got we have great restaurants. Shaggy's, Bacchus, Hooks. It's great restaurants, and encourage people to come. And great shopping and just a great lifestyle. And that development, specifically the harbor there, that's going to be a catalyst for economic development. It will. It will, because the issue is right now, the commercial seafood business is down. Okay. Pass Christian used to be the largest natural oyster reef in the world, and now we have none. So it's amazing what it's done to Pass Christian. You go into City Hall and you see all these vintage photos of people tonging for oysters. Now we have none. But, I know General Joe and so forth, they have a team, a very, very special team, and they're working on bringing the oysters back. And then shrimping as well. Shrimping is hurt. We have about a third of the shrimp boats in the Pass Harbor that we used to have. Now, is that from the BP spill, the storms? It's that, and also they opened this Bonnie Carey spillway right north of, and they have this Mississippi Sound Coalition. Gerald Blessey is heading that up, and it's just a great thing, along with Marlon Ladner, our supervisor, and they're heading this up, and hopefully we'll reach an agreement with the Corps of Engineers such that they'll no longer just open up these spillways and then let fresh and polluted water go into our sound for 6 months at a time. Seems like it's a never-ending fight on that deal, isn't it? It is, but we got great people in place right now to help, lead that charge.
Okay, good. One quick question before we go here about just a financial issue, and that's public employees retirement system. You guys have got an increase in the employer contribution set to go into effect next year and phase in over 3 years. You got that baked into your budget, you think?
We have it baked in, but it hurts.
Sure.
When that happens.
Sure.
And I was in benefits my entire career.
Okay.
Managed the benefit
You
program at 4 different companies, so I know it very well. But it's just something that we have to come up with just creative ways to be able to deal with, especially the smaller communities.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who are really going to get hit hard.
Mayor, appreciate you coming on, sir. Congratulations on all the great success in your town of Pass Christian, Mississippi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and wish you the best of luck, Troy.
Thank you. We're coming right back, folks, with Anna Harris from the Mardi Gras Museum down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We're at Cruisin the Coast in Biloxi. Stay with us.